Hi, I'm Mr. Steve, and I'd like to tell you a story. Today's story is called Hank Hammer and the Puppy. Hank is going to have to build a doghouse for his new puppy, Happy, but will Happy like his new home? Well, we're going to find out. Now, this book, it was written by Adria Klein and illustrated, that means all the pictures, were drawn by Andy Rowland. And the people that printed the book are Stone Arch readers. It's very important to have those folks because if they didn't print the books, we wouldn't be able to read them. So, this is the tool team. We have Tia tape measure, Hank hammer, and then Sammy saw. And over here we have Sophie screwdriver. Everybody should have these tools around their house because they're really good to have for doing little things to fix up things around the house that need to be done. Okay. Well, Hank the Hammer had some exciting news. He can't wait to tell his friends. They'll be here soon, said his mom. I bet you didn't know hammers had mothers. Hank sees his friends and runs outside. What's going on? Asked Sammy. We're going to have a new member to add to our group, says Hank. And who's that? Says Tia tape measure. There they all are there. Tia tape measure, Sophie screwdriver, and Sammy saw, along with Hank. It's my new puppy, and his name is Happy. Wow, says Sophie, you are so lucky. It's fun to have a dog, as long as you take care of it and treat it right. Yeah, it will love you and take care of you yourself, and he'll be your best friend. But you also have to have a place for him to stay to keep him dry when it's raining outside, and a place to keep him warm. So they're going to build a doghouse for him so he can stay dry and warm when he's outside. Well, Sammy asks, where does he sleep? Hank says, I don't have a place for Happy to sleep right now. Remember, they don't have a doghouse yet. Well, Tia figured that out too, and she said, Happy needs a doghouse. He sure does, says Sophie. So Hank says, let's get to work. And he is unrolling something here, and they're called plans. Okay, and it's like a drawing of what the doghouse would look like and how you need to build it. You usually need to have a plan before you start something like that. And Sammy agrees. Sammy says, we need a plan. He says, yep, you always need to have a plan. Well, Tia tape measure says, I can measure the wood. And Sammy saw says, well, I can saw the wood. And Sophie, the screwdriver, says, I can hold all the wood together. And Hank says, I can hammer the wood together. So they called themselves the tool team. And they said, let's do this. And Hank gets the wood, and Sophie gets the nails, and Tia gets the paint. They're gathering all the supplies, and then Happy, the puppy, he's outside looking in. He's excited because he's going to get a doghouse out of the deal. So Tia measures each piece of wood, and Sammy cuts each piece. And in the meantime, Hank and Sophie, they're playing with Happy to keep him busy so he doesn't get in the way. Well, we're done with our part, says Tia. She did all the measuring. Your turn, says Sammy Saw. And Hank the Hammer says, I'm ready. Sophie Screwdriver says, so am I. So Sophie holds the wood and Hank starts to hammer the nails in. Now this time Tia and Sammy are playing with Happy, and they're keeping him occupied while Sophie and Hank start putting the doghouse together. Okay, well, they have the doghouse put together now, but there's one other thing they need to do. They need to paint it. Because a lot of times, if you don't paint something, the weather's going to get to it and it'll just fall apart. So you need to paint the doghouse to protect it and keep it from falling apart in the weather. So they paint the doghouse. And there's something else they need to do. They need to put Happy's name on the doghouse, so everybody knows that that is Happy's house. That is his place. And Hank says, now the doghouse is done. Hank's mom takes a look at everything. She comes out to look at the work, and she's really happy. She says, it's good work, Tool Team. I think Happy likes his new house. Well, I think he does too, says Hank. And so his mom says, it's time for a picture. And there she is. She's got the camera, and there's the Tool Team. And there is Happy. And he is in his doghouse just as happy as can be. And now everyone is happy. I hope you learned some new words in this book. There are some words like friends and outside, doghouse, measure, hammer, and paint. You ought to take one of your books and see if you can find those words for yourself. See if you can find friends, or outside, or doghouse, measure, hammer, or paint. That would be something fun that you can do until we get together the next time. So, until that time, this is Mr. Steve saying goodbye.